Hi everyone, this is Cheryl Villeneuve from Vista Gardens. I'm just going ahead and showing you a little bit today about what I am doing. Sorry for the noise in the background. I'm sure you're going to be hearing some cars going by. I'm actually in my garage right now, and I just went ahead and completed a setup for a project that I have going on today. I've been battling a little bit of bronchitis, so I'll try to go ahead and talk as much as possible. It's really kind of hard for me to be doing this kind of work right now just because of the fact that I am sanding and it's creating a lot of dust, and I'm breathing that in, and it's already very difficult for me to breathe. A couple of days ago I couldn't do this video because I really couldn't talk without constantly kind of coughing. So now that I'm feeling just a little bit better, and I'm trying to go ahead and get this video out there and done. So I did want to go ahead and show you a little bit about what I thought would be great is that if I went ahead and did videos and showed you guys a little bit about what I do, you definitely might understand a little bit more about my shop and what it is that I actually do. So that way I think it's easier in a video to go ahead and get that across for me than it is for me to go ahead and write. I'm not really a great writer. I'm not even really a great texter. So I'm much more of a verbal communicator. And so I do want to go ahead and just explain just a little bit to you guys about what's going on in my life lately and what I am doing this year. That has got me a little bit so excited. This year I went ahead and got my craft room finished, so that's completed. I'm really excited about that because that allows me to go ahead and work with my computer and my Cricut and all my other software that I have available to me. I am a designer and I do also design for Cricut. So I do design for the Cricut community, and I do create the graphics and the vectors that you guys do see on there. So some of them you are able to go ahead, some I give out for free. We all do. I love to share. And I'm hoping that this inspires you guys a little bit. Maybe you'll get some ideas from what I'm doing. Maybe it will inspire you to maybe go ahead and try some of these things yourself. Or maybe it would go ahead and inspire you to want to maybe purchase something from me and see it actually in your house or see it in a very different way. So I wanted to go ahead and I thought doing a video on this, also creating a YouTube channel to show what it is that we do. My husband will also be a part of that YouTube channel. He will not be a part of this. He's not a part of my Facebook group, or is he a part of Vista Gardens itself. He does help me once in a while when he's able to. Otherwise, we are interior and exterior painters, so he is usually off busy doing that. So we don't really get to see each other very much, especially this time of year when we have a lot of exterior that he has going on right now, a lot of decks, things like that. So if you do need any type of exterior work, definitely go ahead and please consider us. He is Redo It Right Incorporated. His name is Steve Villeneuve, and I will go ahead and link how to contact him below this video. Just in case you need any interior painting, or if you need an estimate, or if you need any type of exterior work, maybe power washing, anything like that. He's really good at that. He's really good at this stuff too, only it's more my thing as far as home decorating. That's kind of more my area. His is definitely the interior type of painting and understanding paint and different types of paint and different types of paint going with what type of surfaces. So he's really good at that. And maybe help me out if I have like a issue or a problem with a design and I'm trying to figure it out. If he's got the time, he'll go ahead and he'll help me with that too. But normally I do have to struggle with that myself. He doesn't really have a lot of time. So we're both, self-employed. We're both entrepreneurs doing our own type of businesses. So you can imagine that we don't really get to see each other very much. So we work very, very long hours. Sometimes I work 16 hours a day. So, I know not only just have the this type of work to do, I also have the business aspect of it as well. So it's not just the crafting. I wish it was, but it isn't. It's also the business part of it that you get busy with. So that's kind of what I've been doing for the past couple of months, is I've just really been busy with the business aspect of it and really learning new things, and really taking different classes on how to learn how to do new things so that I could go ahead and bring them to my customers. So I'm not someone that can repeatedly do the same thing over and over and over and over again. I get kind of bored. I basically do this. I would not say I have a specific type of decor that I like. I like all types of decor. If it's pretty to me, I like it. It doesn't matter if it's elegant. It doesn't matter if it's farmhouse. It doesn't matter if it's industrial. It really doesn't matter. I like them all. I even like French. I have a lot of French influences in some of my pieces. And those pieces are normally in my second bedroom. I have a second bedroom, and that closet is normally my closet. My husband actually takes over the closet that's in our bedroom. So I kind of actually gained the space of the second bedroom. The second bedroom I decorated, and I will show you guys a little bit later on when I'm completely through with it. We'll go through a tour of it, and I'll do some befores and kind of show you a little bit of what I plan on doing, and then I'll give you a reveal, okay? That will be most likely on my YouTube channel, which I will when it gets up and running and I have enough videos and can edit them all. I'll go ahead and link that to this Facebook group in case you want to go ahead and visit that YouTube channel. So that's what's been going on lately, is just a lot of learning about the business, a lot of taking different classes and being able to offer different things to you guys. I had to learn to work with resin. I've had to work with clay. I've been doing a lot of sculpting, pottery, things like that I've been learning a lot about, that I would like to bring into my store. I'm not trying to go ahead and create a huge department store. I'm not trying to go ahead and do that. I just like to go ahead and bring very unique pieces in to my store and bring them to my clients. I like very unique pieces. I mean, very unique pieces that you're not necessarily going to find somewhere else is really what I'm looking for. So I like that. And so that's kind of what I try to bring to my customer, is I like to bring very unique items. Things that you're not going to necessarily, or things that maybe you necessarily even thought of, even remotely being together in something, or would remotely go, oh my gosh, I would never, have thought about this like that. What I'm doing right now is I am going ahead and sanding this very, very long board. I did get the sander from my husband. I love it, you guys. I don't know where he got it from. He could have got it from some kind of store, like some kind of, since we do have a business, he could have got it from some type of, contracting store, which is also very possible. So we do go ahead and get a lot of stuff like that, since we do have that type of business. But this is just a great, awesome sander. I just love it. It feels so comfortable and so natural, you guys. It just fits so well in the palm of your hands. And especially if you're a woman, that's the strange thing, is that, we tend to have smaller hands than men. But I tell you what, I mean, and I think of myself as having a pretty small hand, but this absolutely fits just perfect. And I love it. It's my number one go-to sander. So what I'm doing is I am creating, and I know for sure I'm definitely going to be working with some farmhouse style items today. I definitely want to get those going because those are definitely seem to be the most requested, the most wanted, the most sought after when it comes to my business. So when clients come to me, that's really what they're looking for first. So I have a piece of scrap wood right here, and I am basically going ahead. I did go ahead and do a coat of white over the top of it. It is a pine board, so I do work only with real wood. I do not work with MDF. I do not work with fake wood. I don't work with basswood. The only time I ever work with basswood is when it comes to my wood burning decor, or if I'm wood burning something for an accent. And I need the basswood, maybe the softness of it, to get what I'm trying to accomplish. That is only the time I ever use that type of wood. Otherwise, I do not like fake wood. It just defeats the whole purpose. The whole purpose of farmhouse is that it is meant to be perfectly imperfectly homemade looking. That is the whole intent behind farmhouse style, is that it's meant to be home looking. So it needs to look like you actually made it. But at the same time, you want it to also look nice and somewhat perfectly. So it's really a balance that you have to do, and you really have to kind of learn it. It's not easy. There are several distressing techniques that anyone can use. I use several of them, just depending on what look I'm trying to go for. There's your wet distressing technique, there's your dry brushing technique, and there's a couple other ones too. So I'm just basically sanding this, and I'm just trying to make this smooth, okay? So if you can see this here, if I can get it where I can get a part here. It's a pretty long piece, and I tend to go ahead and really, when I do this and get this set up, I really do a lot of them at one time. So this is not a board that's going to do one specific project. This is a board that's going to serve for many, okay? So as you can see, I have a little bit of a knot right here, okay? And that's also how I know it's pine. I know it's pine because of how it looks. I know it's pine because of how the weight of it is. So I know it's a pine board. But I'm just trying to go ahead. When it comes to farmhouse style, I don't like to go ahead and cover this stuff up. I like to show it. So I do like to just sand it until it's completely smooth, especially if I'm just keeping it white, which kind of is a little bit behind the farmhouse style, is the color of the neutral color or the neutral decor. It doesn't mean that it necessarily you need to stick with white. You can go with very light grays, and that's very common too. That's actually becoming really common. Actually, I'm getting that requested a lot, is to go with some very light grays. Excuse me. So I don't cover those up, okay? So you will see some of these little bit of imperfections here and there, okay? In between the sanding I'm just trying to make it smooth, okay? That's all I'm trying to do. I go ahead, and what I do when I work on a piece is the very first thing I do is I do smooth it out after I paint it. And I only painted this one coat. Normally I'll do two. On this one I want a little bit more showing, because I kind of have an idea of what it is that I want to make with a couple of these pieces. So I really want to and believe that it would go better if a little bit of the stuff shows. So again, that is kind of you know, the idea behind it that it does look homemade, but you are not going for perfection. You're going for the minimalistic type of look, but with some kind of, I don't know what the right word to say with it would be, but that is really what you're trying to go for. That's really what you're looking for when it comes to farmhouse. You are not looking for the perfectly white, complete board, okay? That's not what you're looking for, because that's not farmhouse. It just isn't. That is professional manufactured. They will do it perfectly, but the whole purpose behind farmhouse is that it's imperfectly perfect, that you see imperfections, that you see, kind of look at it and realize that it's a homemade kind of item, but it still has this beauty that it's you know, bringing out in some kind of, you know, in the decor itself. It has a beautiful, it's beautiful. The imperfections are what makes it beautiful. So, you know, I always say there's kind of, you know, people have to really understand farmhouse style when people make it homemade. When people like us make it homemade, we understand the whole intent behind the farmhouse style issue. We understand that it's to be perfectly imperfect. We understand that there are to be flaws. We are and understand that we're not trying to make it manufactured looking. We're not trying to go ahead and duplicate and reproduce over and over and over again. We're not looking to do that. Us homemade individuals that make signs and make wood signs, we're not looking for that at all. So I wanted to go ahead and just give you that little bit of, you know, explanation that that's not what I'm going to be looking at doing. So if that's what you're into or curious about, then go ahead and seek me out and seek out my store. My store is actually my 3-season porch. It's actually in the back of my house. It has its own entrance. It looks a little bit like a cabin. It's really kind of cool. It has its own look to it, and it has a panoramic view, and I just love it. So, you know what, guys? Go ahead and check me out. Come see me and take a look at what I have to offer. You never know. You might run across an absolute treasure. I will go ahead and try to go ahead and post as many pics as I possibly can in between working, and this is my busiest time of year because I do tend to do more unique outdoor pieces. So I'm always tending to work outdoors, and there is an engrossing process in making these items because you do have to go ahead and prep them. You do have to go ahead and then paint them, wait for them to dry, go ahead and then sand them, then go ahead and maybe do another recoat or another repaint or distress, or there's always something you're needing to do. So it's always, you know, 3 or 4 steps that you're taking in recreating things like this. So, or creating things like this, excuse me. So it's a little kind of engrossing and time consuming of an art. But go ahead and check me out. I will go ahead and keep in touch with you lovelies, and you lovelies have a great afternoon. Bye.